Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive 717. I am back with another video. I hope you guys are doing incredibly well tonight. Today I have a quick reading here for you, so I won't go into too many long introductions, alright? I have a reading prepared for you guys today with the energies of the masculine and the feminine coming through in terms of reaching out to each other in moments of silence. Now, the major message that I was getting is that some of you have initiated no contact with your counterpart because you want to give your time space to heal, really. Space to heal from like the chasing. A lot of realizations are coming up with you guys being in that energy of chasing them. And many of you are having, again, like I mentioned in the last few videos, changing your language around the twin flame connection. So instead of saying like you guys are ghosting each other or you're creating distance or you're chasing them, what you're starting to realize through the acceptance of the love that you guys are feeling for each other is that there is no such thing as like chasing them. It's like you guys are already one soul. And it just so happens that you're split into two. So really, there's no reason to chase after each other. There is only time to focus on the self. Time is of the essence is what I get right now for self-development for a lot of you. A lot of self-growth. Like the Hanged Man energy is coming up for me as well, where your life has been turned upside down for you to look at things in a new, fresh way with different perspectives and also choose to take this space for yourself in order to grow and learn about what it is you're experiencing. So many of you are moving away from blaming your partner or blaming your counterpart for a lot of the feelings and emotions that come up when they do take time and space for themselves to heal. You're starting to realize that they have the right to take time away to heal, and you also have the right to take time away to heal. Now, many of you have questions come up when you're on this part of the journey where you initiate the distance between you guys or you initiate the separation, and then all of a sudden these synchronicities start coming into your space. So the synchronicities will include dreams. It will include very warm, happy memories and thoughts of your counterpart. You might see their name everywhere. Many of you might see their name and then 911, meaning like you feel like the universe is calling out to you to make contact again or let them know that you're somehow there, but you're taking the space. And what you're being, asked to open your eyes to is that the universe is testing you and your ability and decision to take time and space away for yourself. So when you start seeing the synchronicities happening, it's not necessarily a sign for you to go and reach out to them. It's actually a sign to let you know you're on the right path by choosing to respect their time and space and respect your integrity and your own well-being, okay? Now, I want this reading to focus on the best course of action, okay? So I'm going to go ahead here and just shuffle the major arcanas right now of the Light Seers deck. And this is the best course of action for you to take right now in this separation, just in case you have questions. All right, so the Justice card is coming up. A lot of this space is needed for many of you for balance to take place, okay? And I feel like the balance comes from you guys constantly repeating cycles of exactly that energy where you choose to take space, the synchronicities happen, and then you dive back into chasing your partner or trying to make sure that you guys are connected. The Justice is happening because the scales are balancing to let you guys know there's, again, no need to chase because you guys are one. It's like that mirror effect, right? Like when she looks down, she sees that image there of really herself looking in to the reflection. That's like the images are different here to let you and your counterpart know that you both are very different and unique in different ways, but you'll still experience very similar parts of the journey together. The wheel is coming up because you both are surrounded by a lot of changes that are happening right now, and it's happening in like every single area of your life. Like as you can see here, there's a lot of choices, a lot of directions, and mainly the main thing that I see here is when you're faced with choices, you have the option of following your heart compass, okay? So constantly deciding what it is that you want. Another thing I get with this card too is like, look at the dice around her neck. So taking the time to really roll the dice and take new actions and take on new habits and new patterns for your twin flame connection where you're not falling back into the same stuff again, okay? And this specifically is around contacting them, especially after you've already decided to take space. Let justice take its course. Let there be balance between you two. Maybe you were over giving to your counterpart and you weren't getting anything reciprocated back, but you weren't seeing the main goal or the main lesson, which is it's okay to let go of that type of interaction with your counterpart. And when you let go, you leave room for it to transform into the meaningful and healthy relationship and connection and encounter that it should be. So many of you are being faced with the thought and idea of like letting go of your counterpart or ending certain cycles, and you're afraid to do that because you think that they're not going to come back or like they're not going to be a part of your life. But really, they're going to be a part of your life either way. But if you're choosing to take actions where you're stuck in certain cycles, then the interaction or the twin flame journey is going to always have this like dark cloud over it where you guys are going to be feeling like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Okay, because at some point or another, we have to take accountability for our ability to be able to discern and walk away. Another thing too I see with this card coming up here with the balance and stuff like that, like taking balance of your own life. And again, with this energy to discern, like many of you will turn around and like point your finger at your masculine and call them like narcissists, say that they're abusing you, they're doing X, Y, Z to you, but you're not discerning about like why it is you stay and why it is you put up with it. Versus being able to like choose what this twin flame journey is all about, which is choosing yourself and choosing to walk away from something that you know is not beneficial or good for you, even if it is your twin flame. Because if it is your twin flame and you're choosing to walk away, they're actually doing you a favor by helping you to face your shadow self and the certain parts of your personality and your behaviors and your past lives, like why they all choose the pain and equate it to love. Because when we look at love, we have to look at the self first. We have to love ourselves in order to be able to recognize when things are being done to us and to put a stop to that cycle. I'm gonna get a few messages here from the keepers of the light to let you guys know, like if you're taking space right now, it's for a good reason. It's to transform the connection. Don't be afraid of like the separation or the feeling of being alone or loneliness or despair, because sometimes being alone is better than being caught up in cycles with someone who's not reciprocating the things that you want or need in a relationship, right? And it's like twin flame or no twin flame, like you have to pick up certain energies from the tarot that you guys have been taught throughout many readings that you've listened to, and know when to tap into certain energies along the path. So if stuff isn't being like reciprocated to you in the way that you want to, like you have to be able to get into your swords energy and like not only think with like your heart space, but think like mental, like logical as well. And know that, again, your ability to discern, like, it's not about blaming other people. It's about, okay, if this is happening, like, I need to question myself and not the other person. Why am I still here? So I feel like Krishna comes up. He came up in the last reading as well here, talking about the connection to Radha. Now, in Hindu mythology or in Hindu teachings, Radha and Krishna were compared to the twin flame energy of being one soul, and they were split into two, and like the epitome of their relationship was learning unconditional love through being separated. So Krishna represents devotion, and the reason he represents devotion is because him and Radha were so closely connected, but he actually never married her because there were so many obstacles in the way of them being together. Nonetheless, she actually still stayed devoted to Krishna, and it was through this devotion, even though they couldn't be together in the physical, she never backed down on the love that she felt for him, and she stayed devoted in that love, even though they weren't physically together in a physical marriage or manifestation on earth. It was enough for her to love him, and through that devotion, he embraced his love for her by declaring that they are one soul, because love was about sacrifice, and she displayed that through her unconditional love for him. So whenever you go to a Krishna temple, you will never hear them recite Krishna's name without saying Radha in front of his name. So Radha Krishna, okay, and again, that represents the energy of devotion. So it says, trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized, okay? The connection to your twin flame, for many of you, it has been confirmed. So therefore, you don't need to worry about walking away from the connection when it does get to a place of being unhealthy, or it feels like you're in something very low vibrational, you're a third party, you're waiting around for your masculine to end things off with another person. You know, all of these energies you don't necessarily have to take part in the 3D, because you and your masculine, many of you on the connection so far, have experienced certain things with each other that lets you know that this twin flame journey is real. Therefore, your devotion to each other on an ethereal level is quite apparent. So there's no need to chase after it in the physical or take part in a lot of the mind games and head games that the 3D presents. It's okay if you do. There's no making mistakes on this journey. So if you choose to engage in the 3D games, just know that you're actually serving yourself a plate full of stuff that, you know, you got to be prepared to deal with and eat that food. You know, if you serve your plate of food, you got to be able to eat it, right? Chuck that shit down. But if you are at the buffet, you can pick and choose what it is you put on your plate and have like a nice assorted plate of the things that you want to eat and want to digest and is good for your belly and is not going to give you heartburn. No pun intended about this journey. All right. Let's go ahead and see what else is here. So awakening presence. So I feel like this energy comes out here because many of you are awakening to the past cycles that you've been in with your divine masculine, and like it doesn't make you feel good about yourself. So many of you are again wanting to take like drastic changes in your connection, where you are experiencing the Queen of Swords energy or tapping into it, where you know you have to put an end to things even though it's putting a pin into your heart. Okay, you have to be able to take that step and discern, where it's like you might experience a little bit of pain here, but in the long run, you're actually looking out for yourself through healing yourself. You're going to heal that pin in your heart and then some when you choose to discern and walk away from things that aren't serving you, and have the confidence, self-worth, and self-love for yourself to be in the moment here and be in the present moment. It says the universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. Now, I feel like that cloak of protection and love comes from the emotions that you will feel when you experience walking away from your counterpart. Many of you are going to find yourself saying like, this was all for nothing. I don't believe in the twin flame journey. I'm going to unsubscribe from all of these twin flame channels. I don't want to hear about twin flame nothing. Guard yourself in terms of that lower vibrational energy, because it's actually not aligned with what you do truly believe. Don't give away your power and trust the physical and spiritual connection that you do have with your twin flame, because that is actually the awakening presence that you're being called to have. Yes, I believe in this connection, but it doesn't mean I have to act a fool in the physical. Because I trust and believe in it, I know that what is meant for me will come. I'm going to end off the reading here by getting a few messages from your divine counterpart. So even though both of you are in this energy of just like walking away from each other, taking time and space to heal, it doesn't mean the connection is over. So what do your higher selves have to say to each other in this time of separation and space? What does your masculine have to say to you, feminine? That's too many. Okay, so you're his Queen of Pentacles, okay? So, at the end of the day, like, he will work towards you because he's already recognized your ability to be able to tap into your Queen of Pentacles energy. Maybe by tapping into your Queen of Swords energy, you can recognize yourself as this Queen of Pentacles again. And understand that it's like, this energy of him worshiping you or loving you is because of your ability to just sit down and be in the receiving energy. Because of her crown on her head, she is closely connected to the higher realms. Like, she trusts her intuition. She's very grounded in this world. She's comfortable in the physical world. You know what I mean? Like, even with all of the mind games going on, like the social media games with like karmic partners and stuff, the Queen of Pentacles is very strategic, and she is very honorable and admirable and is very careful before she acts. And so she's more in this phase of sitting down and letting the masculine take that time and space to do what it is they want to do, because she knows at the end of the day, when she does initiate that space and she stays steady with her own self-growth and self-goals and personal development, it gets him into this energy again. And the reason being is because for many of the feminines, they are their receiving energy, their ability to be fertile with a lot of warmth and nurturing. And so the masculine is there to receive this kind of warmth and nurturing and support so that he can go out there in the world and give her everything that she needs and desires. So you know, take hold of the Strength card here. We have the Justice card coming up again. So I feel like it's a strong message once it's like doubled. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what's taking place here, is like the both of you kind of like looking in the mirror here and understanding and realizing what this connection is, backtracking on a lot of the mistakes that you think or feel that you've made, and doing something new and different. Because with the scales being balanced, this is, you know, the both of you realizing that there needs to be an equal give and take in the connection. And for me, like what I get from that is understanding your role as a feminine and understanding your role as a masculine. You know, many of the masculines know that the feminine has the ability to, you know, really just overpower them. And it's often done just by her ability to speak her truth and to speak her mind. I mean, that is a lot of strength to him, because what I get is that the world is a scary place, and when the masculines come here, they often carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, but the feminine comes here and she's able to sit down and relax in this world, and there she is trying to let him know through this card, like, don't be afraid, take it down, take everybody down to Chinatown. I think through their connection as well, like the space is necessary because, like I mentioned in, I think, previous letters that the Divine Masculine has written to the feminine, or even just in readings and sharing it, the Strength card is also the feminine's ability to take the space that she needs and sit down and allow the masculines to learn what it is they need to learn. And what I get from like learning what they need to learn is like, what is life like without her presence there? And this has a lot to do with the fact that the connection between them can't be denied or it can't be ignored, no matter how much he tries. You know, the feminine will always bring this type of truth to him, no matter how wild or untamed he may seem in the physical world. It's like she's there to remind him, like, listen, you being untamed is exactly what you need to do in order to, like, break free from a lot of these illusions. You know, I feel like sometimes the masculine looks to the feminine to tame him, and it's like she's looking at him like, I am not here to tame you, like, even myself, like, I run wild and free, and you need to do the same. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. It was just messages that I felt that needed to come out. And, you know, again, that reminder is that if you guys are experiencing separation, especially if you initiated it, and then you start receiving synchronicities about your person, look to it as a test from the universe to be like, are you ready to like reach out, or are you just being tempted to go back into old cycles? Because if you just initiated separation, then these signs and symbols are there to let you know that you are on the right track to self-healing and to self-love. All right. I hope you guys have, again, enjoyed. If you want to do a personal session with me, hit me up on Wizio because I'm still doing the 20% off until January 29th, all right? I would love to connect with you guys. Until then, I am crazily working on launching the Patreon stuff and just working on content for that. So I'll catch up with you guys soon, all right? I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye.